Hello Flosstube friends and welcome. I am Lisa and this is my channel Cross by Floss, where I talk about my love of cross stitch as well as life blabbings. So welcome. Today actually is Tuesday, November, is it 23rd? And I normally don't upload during the week, and I had intended on doing a video on Sunday. However, we went to the tree farm to cut down our Christmas tree, and during that event something also very special happened, and I'm planning a wedding for my daughter, not for me. So super exciting. I'm now the mother of the bride, and I am so excited for them. I knew it was going to happen. He had asked my permission for her hand, even though, you know, they've been together for quite some time. They bought a house together, but she wasn't going to marry him unless it was, he'd come and ask me and that everything was okay. And of course it would be, because I love that kid. So yeah, so it was really, really sweet, and I knew it was going to happen, and it was a really lovely day. And unexpectedly, Mr. G was there as well, which originally he was not coming home until Wednesday this week for Thanksgiving. But it just ended up that he was able to deliver here on early Sunday morning, and they took that delivery really fast, and so he came home and I was like, well, guess what, we're going to the tree farm. And of course I hadn't told anybody, well, except my oldest son, who can keep a secret, so it was all good. And so he was just as surprised. He had no idea. And so it was really fun. And so because of that, I wasn't able to scoot back home and do a video. And I hate doing videos when Mr. G is around. It's not that I hate it, but I have such limited time with him as it is. And then to go and organize for a video and do all the things, yeah. And so it just didn't get done. So anyways, that's the big news. I'm so excited. Yeah, I don't think that they have a date in mind yet, but I don't think that it's going to be like a long drawn out thing. Small family type wedding, big reception. So so that's going to be so super fun. I'm really excited about that. I also wanted to say from my last video, thank you for the comments on the video in regards to what I had shared about mental health and you know, the anxiety and depression, and for those of you who also reached out, thank you very much. Yes, it is a topic that is not always talked about. I mean, that's not true. It is a topic that's talked about, but sometimes people are very surprised at the people that it affects because of the way they portray themselves. And so I think that that needs to be talked about a little bit more. So, you know, just check in with your family and friends, and just make sure that, you know, you're okay, they're okay, everybody's okay. So, and especially around this time of the year, you know, holidays can be very hard for some people. And so, you know, yes, so very much thank you so much for that. What else did I want to talk about? Oh, so this Thanksgiving is almost upon us, and here in the States, and we are going to be smoking a turkey. Actually, we're smoking 2 turkeys this year. So Mr. G has wanted a smoker for a very long time, and like probably, well, he's been talking about it for a couple of years, and he's never pulled the trigger on it. Finally, I was like, just do it. If it's something that you want, just do it. And he keeps justifying, well, I'm not home very often, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, but you like to cook when you are home, so let's just do it. So he got a beautiful smoker, not a Traeger, but one that's very, very comparable. And he is so super happy with it. And we've already done the maiden cook on it already, and it was delicious. And so he is smoking 2 turkeys for Thanksgiving, one that will be staying at our house for all the good things, and one that we will be bringing to my daughter's house for Thanksgiving, that we're doing with family, and then it will just stay here. So they will reap the benefits of all those leftovers, and we'll have a fully cooked one back home for all of the things that we want. I guess it works. And he's super happy about it. So, yeah, so really looking forward to Thanksgiving dinner, not gonna lie. All right, what else? It has been a while since I've done an update whip video, and so I am going to go through what I could find in my whip pile. I think I have more, but I truly can't remember. It's been a while. So I'm just gonna go through the whips that I know for sure that I worked on, and yeah. All right, so the first one I'm going to show you is, let's see if I can find the pattern. So sorry, here it is. So the first one is a pattern that I got off of an Etsy store that was called oh no, I'm sorry, it wasn't an Etsy store, it's a website. www.roland-designs.com. That is it there. And this is the sampler that I am doing, and it's called Marie Agnon 1888. And it's a cute little red sampler, not very big at all. And this is my car project for when I pick the little up from school in the carpool lane. We're not going to talk about the carpool lane. It doesn't stress me out. It ticks me off because of just the flow of carpool pickup. So unless you're there first thing, you know, and you get there 20 minutes before school ends, it's a bit of a good time. Yes. So that is what I've gotten done. I am just so thrilled. Pretty much I get a letter in each time I'm able, you know, I go to pick her up. I don't pick her up absolutely every day, most days. But there's been some days that I'm like screaming into the parking lot just as kids are being released. So there's no opportunity to actually stitch. And so, you know, actually that's pretty darn good progress from the very first time that I started. So I am doing this on a piece of, it's either 18 count or 20 count Ada dyed, coffee tea dyed by me, with the tutorial that Priscilla and Chelsea of Cross Stitch the Housewives of Cross, oh goodness sakes, you guys know who I mean. They have a tutorial on how to coffee tea dye your fabric, and I'm pretty positive that this is one of those pieces that I did that with. And I am using Sulky thread, and it is a red. Let's see if I have it in here. I do, sorry, I'm semi-prepared. It is color 1147. And, you know, I've used so much Sulky, and I have so much left. Like, there is so much on here. And I am I'm definitely over half of this pattern. So, so yeah, I just keep this in the car, and any opportunity I have to do some stitching, I pull it out. And, you know, if I'm waiting for her at her extracurricular activity, or the carpool lane, pull that out, and it's pretty good. The second piece, and I am not doing good on this, so I'm going to admit I am having a whip go fail. So I'm evaluating what I want to do for whip go next year, and I'll talk about that a little later. But this was pulled out, I think, for October's whip go. It was on October's. No, this might have been my. It is on whip go, but then I decided I was going to make it a focus piece, and I'm also failing at that. you know, my intent on a focus piece is to do at least one strand of floss in the pattern every evening, and or sometime during the day, and I am failing big time at that. And I don't know if it's because it's the piece. I have not fallen out of love of the piece, but somehow I just don't want to work on it right now. I know I'm going to want to, because I love the colors, I love the pattern, I love everything about this. I love my fabric, but I just don't know what it is right now about this piece. Maybe it's the dark colors. I don't know what it is, but I'm definitely not doing focal piece stitching on this as I thought I should. I really hope to have it done for this month, and as you can see, there's still a long way to go. So let me get the chart out. So this is Plum Street Samplers, and it is Cinnamon Stars, and it is beautiful. I mean, it really and truly is. And so I have done some stitching on it, you know, during the time from last video to now. I filled in a lot of the is it cobblestone? Does that sound right? The stonework in the house, and I think I finished the fence. I think so. So I've done all of that, so that's not bad, not bad. There's a little bit more stone work to put in here, but not horrible. So I think for now, I'm just going to put this away and say, it's okay, it's okay. There's so many to choose from, right? Not that big of a deal. Okay, the next piece that I worked on, and I have worked on this randomly, but I've also worked on it for Mira Monday Stitching, which I do every Monday and have a hashtag on Instagram, which is hashtag Mira Monday Stitching. And this piece here was actually inspired by Memphis Sarah E, who showed this in one of her videos, and I was like, I need to get this right away. And then Mary Ashcraft also had this kit. I guess she was, Memphis Sarah was inspired by Mary, who showed hers. I believe that's the chain that it happened in. And so anyways, the three of us were doing this pattern, because at the very least, I know the three of us have it, and anybody else who has joined in. So this is a kit. It's a kit, and it's called Thanksgiving Harvest Fairy, and it came with the linen and the floss and all the things. And I'm not sure if this kit is available right now. You know, it's hard sourcing fabric and floss, but so I'm not sure if it's I don't think that it's out of print, but you can't quote me on that either. I don't really know. But this is what I've gotten done. Now, because I don't work on linen, I went through my stash and I found a piece of 16 count Sage Summer Khaki that I thought worked well with the colors. And I have gotten that much done so far on her. And I think the last time you saw her, I just had the face and her dress, or part of her bodice, and I have worked out. Now this area here, I don't know what has happened. You know, there's 3 definite colors in here for the wings, part of her dress and then her wings. And there's a lot of fractional stitches in here to get the shape of the wing, and I am struggling. I don't know what has happened, but my counting is off. I've gone back, I've frogged it all out, I redid it, still off. So, and I know all of this in here is correct. It's somewhere in here, and I frogged it, done it, I don't know. So I'm leaving it. Her wings might be lopsided, and I'm going to be okay with that. But she's such a cute stitch. Obviously not getting her done for Thanksgiving this year, but hopefully getting her done next year. And it's really funny, you know, she's a small pattern. She's not big at all. Like, her stitch count is 95 by 119. And I'll be talking about them soon. I have a bunch of Nora patterns that I've been working on for Nora November, and they are easier stitches than this is. So I don't know if it's because of the fractional stitches, I don't know. But anyways, that's what I've gotten done. On this piece here, 16 count Ada in summer khaki, no, sage summer khaki. And I do love working on this, so it's fun. It's fun. Okay. Now for Mirror Monday stitching, I have worked on, I'm fairly certain I worked on Ella the Frog Princess. At least she was in my whip pile. So, so that's the pattern here. And this is the one that I am doing for my granddaughter because that's her name as well. And so I chose a piece of 16 count Ada for this piece here. And I'm pretty sure that I've worked all of this down in here on Mira Monday stitching. And I think that, well, I'll talk about a little bit of my plans later, but I want to get a little bit more done in this. I mean, I really would like to give this to the child before she's a teenager. So, so that she, you know, has it up in her room and it goes with what she's got color-wise in her room. And so, but that is what I've gotten done. I don't remember the name of the fabric, but I will look it up and I will try to remember to put it in the show notes below. Sometimes I need help in remembering to do the show notes. I always intend to, and then y'all know life, right? Life. The next one that I worked on, and I actually worked on this one quite a bit on Monday Mira stitching, Mira Monday stitching, sorry. I worked on this one. This is Shimmering Mermaid. I just couldn't put this one down, you guys. I love everything about her. I just love everything about her. That's what she looks like. Her face is gorgeous. Her hair color is gorgeous. Just everything about her is beautiful. And I love my fabric. Yeah, there's nothing about this pattern that I just don't like. Okay, so I did so much stitching in her tail. There we go. This is just absolutely gorgeous. So I am working the bottom up on this piece. I don't have the 3-inch border that I love having on my patterns, and I think that that's okay. This one has a really nice border around it, if you can see that. There's a border that goes around here, and if I put the border in, that limits me even a little more for my allowance, but I think I'm gonna be okay with it. I mean, a lot of people have commented that experienced, you know, framers know how to frame with just even an inch and a half, and so I think I'm just gonna be okay with it. And because it is an absolutely beautiful, beautiful pattern. And she also is one that I really would like to make a focus on. Now this one I am doing on a piece of color and cotton, and it's called Oyster Shell. So I'm in the Fabric of the Month Club, and this was one of those fabrics. Let's see, February 2021 was the Fabric of the Month for that one. So super excited about that. And then I just love this one too. I mean, I love all my patterns, of course I do, or why would we work on them, right? So this one here is one, let's see if I have I do. Okay. This one is a Plum Street Samplers, and as far as I'm concerned, Paulette can do no wrong in any of her charts. I love Plum Street. And this one's called Promised Lamb. I just love this one. And I am doing this on a piece of 16 count color and cotton shiplap. And it also was a fabric of the month piece. And that is what I've gotten done. So I know, do I have it right? Yeah, I do. I started this one in a Stitch With Me video, and in my Stitch With Me videos, I typically do the border because that's easier counting and going along. And then I got a little bored in the border, and I needed to start the house. Now it's very funny to me because the house in this picture, yes, it does look pink. It's very pink. But I did not think that it was as pink as this. Now, let me just double check. She used Gentle Arts threads. I chose the DMC version. So I don't know if the pink, obviously in Gentle Arts, is going to be more variegated, and I don't have that variegation in this, but I'm actually okay with it. I am okay with it. I'm not a pink, you guys all know I'm not a pink girl, but I like it. I just like it a lot. So yeah, so that's what I got done in this one too. Also, one that every time I look at it, I'm always inspired to pull it out. So maybe I think I'm gonna have a lot of focus pieces next year. I don't know. I don't know what's happening with my life. I have a wedding to plan. I'm a little stressed out. No, my daughter will do most of her own planning because she is a strong, independent woman. All right. Then this is the next bit of stitching I did. So in November, you all probably, if you're new to my channel, I love Mira's, Mirabilia's, and Nora Corbett patterns. Nora Corbett's and Mirabilia's are done by the same artist, Nora Corbett, and I have a lot of each one, more Mira's than anything. And I, for the last couple of years, have done Mira Mania, and so I work just on Mira's during May. I don't know that I did that exclusively for the first year, but the second year of Mania that I started Mira Mania, I did, and I did it a vlog style. It was a lot of fun, and I thought, you know what, I also have a lot of Nora's, and November is coming up. November is halfway through, or halfway, it's 6 months from May. So it's a really great transition to work on more things from Nora Corbett. And so I came up with the hashtag NoraCNovember. I am pretty sure I was. And so then each Monday I start a Nora Corbett pattern, a different Nora Corbett pattern. I work on it for 5 nights, Monday through Friday. And then on Saturday mornings, I upload those videos so that you can see the progression from day 1 to day 5 of what I get done. Now, Mondays are very hard for me to do a lot of stitching. Not only do I already have Mira Mondays, so I'm working on my Miras as well, but Mondays seem to be, and I don't know why, but Mondays seem to be the hardest day for me to stitch. And so I get very little done. And more gets done during the week, which is awesome. It's actually kind of fun to see. So the very first week of November, I chose Miss Ginkgo. I love her. From the moment I saw her, I was just like, she's flames. She's flames shooting out, and she's just gorgeous, just gorgeous. And so that, let's see here. I started this. Uh-oh, which way does she go? Oh, this way. I figured it out. We're good. I am doing this on a 16 count French latte. And that is what I've gotten done on her. She's just, oh my goodness. So that's 5 nights of stitching for me. I may have stitched a little bit on Saturday as well, after I uploaded the video while I was watching college football, because that's what I do. So her colors, these are the colors. They're just fantastic. I mean, they're all my colors. They're all very beautiful fall. Wow, that's a big mess, sorry. But they are just gorgeous, gorgeous colors. So that was week 1 of Nora November and her stitching. Let me just fold these up so that I don't lose everything together. And they're all in, all my Noras are in beautiful bags that are made by Denise from Goose Design. And I love her stuff. All right, second week of Nora November, I pulled out Castor Bean. And she is lovely too. Now, my goal is to try and pick different types of, you know, how Nora has fairies or mermaids or fancy ladies or, you know, other things like angels or Santas or, you know, other things. So my goal was to pick something different each week to show. And so the first one was a fairy. This one is, I don't know that I would honestly consider her a fairy, but maybe she is, I don't know. This one I am doing on Color and Cotton 16 count called Garden Path. And that is what I got done in her. She's got a lot of green, a lot of green. And then I started in, this is kind of a burgundy color, and then there will be some red for the castor beans. Is it a I don't even know what a castor bean is. Should probably look that up. But the greens in here are spectacular, just absolutely beautiful. And I enjoyed every single stitch on this one, every day of her stitching. I did get a little bit of her skin started, so that's kind of exciting. Yeah, I have just enjoyed every single stitch of Castor Bean. I loved Miss Ginkgo. I love Miss Ginkgo as well. So both of these I am trying really hard to work on. Now, you might ask what the difference between Nora's and Mira's are. And as far as I can tell, because I don't know that much about Nora Corbett other than she produces beautiful charts for us to stitch. Mirabilia seem to be very large patterns, bigger stitch count, more threads, specialty threads, more beads, that kind of thing. The Nora Corbett patterns seem to be smaller stitch count, shorter thread list, not as many beads, and it doesn't seem to have as many. I don't know that any of the ones that I've chosen so far have had specialty threads. So I don't know that that's the case for like newer ones, but yeah. Oh, and I should also mention that Miss Ginkgo is part of the Autumn Pixies series. Castor Bean is part of the Poison Pixies series. And then this is week 3. And I am working on Lily Pad Sprite. And this is part of the Pond series. And oh my goodness, there are so many beauties in the Pond series. And they all have just beautiful faces, gorgeous faces. And man, I again love the colors of this one as well. Wow, I picked Color and Cotton for each one of these ones so far. Wonder if I did that for week 4. I have to find out. Prairie Dust is the color of this one. And this one I did not, I mean, I did get quite a bit of stitching in. Yeah, actually I did for 5 days. That's actually pretty good for me. So that's what I got done on her. So I really concentrated on, I've got part of a knee in, some of her dress, a little bit of her waist, a little bit of one part of her darker dress up here, and starting, this is part of a wing. She's just so pretty, so pretty. This one also had a lot of fractional stitches going on, especially in the skin, a lot of fractional stitches. Yeah, but this is just beautiful. I think that the color of the fabric is just fantastic and really makes the colors come right out. So I'm hoping to get a little bit more stitching on her in the future as well. Talk about that later. So that, oh my gosh, that is all the stitching I did. I mean, that's not horrible. All right, let's talk about some, sorry, excuse me, some happy mail. So I got this beautiful card from Daleen of So Grateful, and I love how she takes pictures of her work and then she mounts it on cardstock. That's lovely. And she sent me some floss drops of Miss Maisie's nose. How cute are those? So thank you so much, Daleen. That was so fun to get that little happy mail in my mailbox. So nice to get something other than bills, right, you guys? And then I had a viewer reach out to me on Instagram and say that she had gone to a thrift store and had picked up a bunch of Halloween patterns, and in the kits or grab bags, I guess, that she got, there were a bunch of, she went for a bunch of patterns. In the grab bags, there was a bunch of Halloween patterns, and she thought of me because of my love of Halloween. And she doesn't stitch Halloween. And so she asked if I would like them, and I was like, oh my goodness, yes, please. So she sent me a lovely envelope full of patterns, and they're all cardstock. I mean, it was fantastic. I was so excited when I opened this up. So one of them is, what is this? Shepherd's Bush, and it's called Beware. So cute, so cute. And then a cricket collection, and I do not have this, and it's called Halloween Eve. I love that. I love the ghost. Oh my goodness sakes. This is so cute. And there's a little clown and the vampire. So cute. And then this beautiful Friendship's Garden. She said it's not Halloween, but there was a duplicate, and so she added it. I'm like, yes, thank you. That's really lovely. Really lovely. Yep. And the saying is so true. A friend overlooks your broken fence and admires the flowers in your garden. Yeah, so sweet. And then a couple of Raise the Roofs. This is Helga Hagg's beauty bag. Love that. And then Spooky Fence. I cracked up. I don't have this pattern. I don't know why, because, you know, I collect all things Halloween. But they dressed up the fence posts of, or the picket fence pieces, and dressed them up. I love that. Thought that was super cute. And then there was a complimentary chart from the Primitive Needle called Moon Witch. And let me, that one there. Now she had two of them. There were two of them. And so one will eventually go in for a giveaway. So that, thank you so much. I've already sent you a thank you. But I was just, again, I've told you before, the generosity of this community, the stitching community, is just over, it's just so wonderful. Just so wonderful. All right. The next thing that I picked up or got was I had ordered this a while ago. So I belong to a Facebook group that has exclusive patterns by designers, and certain stores, certain shops have them, and they're limited series. And pretty sure I heard this on Nicola's Flosstube video, Hands Across the Sea, and she had said that she was releasing this Rose Ada Featherstone 1894. That chart there. And what's really cool is she added an additional chart, and it included this little lovely notebook just with, you know, blank paper in it to put your thoughts or whatever. And then she always includes one of these wonderful chart. It's got for your notes, and also the threads, even though it's on the pattern. And then this one also came with 16 count. I chose the 16 count option of the Platinum Ada from Zweigart. So it's pretty much kitted except for the floss, which I will do in DMCs. It's charted for Soie d'Alger. Probably butchered that. And I don't know if this is available anymore. It came from the shop. Who it was through is Hobby House Needleworks, and I don't know that there's any more of those left. So I don't know where they're at with that. So that, and then I picked up, because I was watching, was it Robin of Lady Robins? I think it was. She showed her cross stitch magazine, and I was like, I am gonna have to go to the store and get that, because I don't subscribe to this magazine, and I just buy the Halloween edition and the Christmas edition if I like the Christmas edition one. And I will randomly pick these up if there's some patterns in them. But I don't remember if there's a pattern in here. Oh, there's a Christmas tree. I love this. There's a whole story about the sampler sleuth and the Oh Christmas Tree Victorian sampler, and what the inspiration behind this sampler was. And that's what it looks like. And then they go into the whole, like, how Christmas became a thing in England and beyond, and how it started in Queen Victoria. Was it Queen Victoria? Yes, Queen Victoria's reign, because of her husband Prince Albert. And I'm fascinated by royal history, and so when I saw that, I was like, for the price of the magazine, to do that sampler, I'm good with it. And then there's a couple of extra little patterns in here that were kind of cute. And oh, this is one. Okay, and this is done, you guys all know who it's done by. Is it 44? No, 42. Oh, goodness sakes. Totally butchering this. Yeah, y'all know who this is. This is from Helen D. This pattern here. So cute. So cute. And so I was like, okay, again, for the price of the magazine, well worth it. So I picked that up. And then Gary and Ronnie, you know them from the Sunshine Stitchers. Gary does with Shelia and EJ. Is it EJ? I hope it is. And they have a Flosstube channel. And Gary's partner, husband, Ronnie, does bags. And they have a website that you can go to, which is, I'm going to have to link below. I think it's Garon Stitchery, I think. I will link it below when I get all of my show notes in. And anyways, Ronnie announced that he was having a bag sale. And so they showed some of the bags, and these ones popped up. Canada bags. I am a Canadian girl living in a US world. And still here. In fact, I just applied for my green card again. So, because it's up after 10 years. So I, you know, when I saw the Canadian bags or the Canada bags, I was like, I'm gonna need to get one in each size. So I did. So this one here and this one here. So happy. And then on the inside, it's just got the star fabric on this one. I'm pretty sure it's the same on this. Yeah, they're both star fabric. So the smaller size, which I think is 12 by 13, and then 13 by 18, maybe. I don't know. But anyways, his bags are beautiful. They're beautifully made. And if I am giving up the bag of the month going forward in the new year, I have a lot of bags, and but because Ronnie does have the bag sale, and hopefully I'll be quick enough for any of the fabrics that he has, and if not, it's totally okay, because again, I have so many, but I am putting that money to other uses, which I will talk about also later. But while I was waiting for the bag sale, I came across this pattern from Plum Street Samplers, and it's Garden of Erie, and I didn't have this one, so I picked that one up too. So those all came, so that was exciting. Okay, how about we talk about Spotlight on a Stitcher? I don't know if I've done that for a while. This Spotlight on a Stitcher, she has been on Instagram for quite some time, and she comments quite a bit, or likes many of my Mirabilia photos. And so, you know, I went and had a look, and then she started a Flosstube video. Now her name on both platforms is Fiberartsamy. I'm going to link her below, and her YouTube channel. And she started YouTube not that long ago, Flosstube, and I love Amy. I love Amy. I like her, just, yeah, her vibe and everything. She has 7 videos. She's been a stitcher for quite some time, and she has this kind of the same philosophy I do. She goes to thrift stores or, you know, wherever, and she finds pieces that she likes, and she will buy them. And, you know, her thought process is, you know, I don't care if I didn't stitch it. It's beautiful. It should be hanging up on a wall. And she does. And I love that. So, so she showed like a lot of pieces that she had purchased. Ooh, she bought a lot of pieces from cross stitch stores that are going out of business. Now, I don't know that I've seen any cross stitch stores in my area. Well, I mean, we only have one in my area, and then one like 3 hours away. But I haven't heard of any of the cross stitch, like actual brick and mortar cross stitch stores going out of business around me. And so for them to sell off, you know, their displays and things like that, I never gotten the opportunity, but she has. And sorry about that laundry. And she's picked up some Mirabilias and like just all kinds of beautiful things. You need to go see her. She is a prolific Mirabilia Nora Corbett stitcher, and that's how I found her, honestly. And that's how she found me, I think, because when she started stitching, you know, she was searching out for people who stitched Mirabilia patterns, and then she decided to start her Flosstube journey, because she was like, well, if other people have been looking for Mirabilia stitchers, you know, I'm a Mirabilia stitcher, so that would be perfect, you know. And so she, again, like I said, she's got 7 videos. She shows a lot of previous FFOs, and she has taken them from different parts of her house in each in a video, and she shows those, and they're, oh my gosh, she's got so much stitching, it's beautiful. She's got Teresa Wentzler's on the go, she's got a lot of Mira's on the go, she's got a lot of things, and they're just beautiful. And she stitches darn close to the same type of stitching I do. And we definitely share a love of Mirabilia's and Nora Corbett's. And in one of her videos, actually I think in a couple of her videos, she mentioned that she's not opposed to buying two of the same pattern, because one, she works from the pattern itself, and then she wants one that's pristine. And I'm like, okay, I feel that, I do, I feel that. But I make a working copy of mine, and especially the Mira's, because they're so big. Mostly the Nora's I'm able to work, some of them I'm able to work out of the pattern. If there's a lot of fractional stitches, I need to make a working copy, because I get myself lost. And because I also don't monogamously stitch on one thing, I'm not going back to it on a frequent enough basis to remember where I stopped and started. And so if I have something that's highlighted out, it's easier for me to figure out where I've been. So anyways, Amy is, I mean, if you want to see a bunch of Mirabilia's, beautiful Mirabilia's and Nora Corbett patterns already stitched up, she is your girl. She has got a lot of them done, and she's got a lot in progress. I think she admitted that she's got like 50 of them on the go or something, just Mirabilia's. And I'm like, again, I feel that, girl. She definitely has more patterns than I do. I'm gonna tell you that. I thought that I was a good collector of Mirabilia's, but no, I think she's got me beat. And she probably has quite a few of the ones that I can't get anymore, so lucky Amy. So anyways, go and check Amy out. She's lovely. It is fun to see all of her whips and her finishes, and her videos are long, and which I actually like. I'm kind of in the middle of. I really like long videos because then I can stitch to them, or I like short videos because, you know, I have that 20 minutes of time that I can just watch something while I'm preparing food or whatever, and then I, you know, get my Flosstube watching in. But in Amy's videos, I had to watch her because she had so much to show, and so there was very little stitching in, and but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, and I believe you will as well, especially if you stitch the same kinds of things that Amy does. So Fiberartsamy on Flosstube and on Instagram. All right. What am I going to work on? So I have a couple more weeks of Nora November. There's one full week in November left, so that's week 4. And then there is a couple of days in November for another, there's 5 Mondays in November. And so I am going to do that whole week as well as November C stitching, or November C, Nora C November stitching. I'm going to do that, and my last one will be a special pattern, so I'm kind of excited about that. So that's kind of what I'm going to do for the rest of November, as well as continue on, obviously, on my Mira Monday. But because I've had so many WIPGO fails for WIPGO 2021, and you know, WIPGO is what you make it, so I'm not beating myself up in any way, shape, or form of that, because you know, I made a plan, and a couple of things I stuck to, and it was great, and others I figured out where my fail is. And so I'm just going to revamp, and I think next year I'm going to try and concentrate on my big patterns, my like Heaven and Earth pattern that I have going of Anne Boleyn. I haven't touched Anne this year at all, and that is a crying shame. And my Mirabilia's, I really would like to get great progress in on them, and And I think I want to make a couple of the Nora's focus pieces. And so whether I do 25/7, which I think is a great idea, or, you know, I just do the focus piece 1 thread a night. If I do that, I don't know where I'm gonna go, but samplers, my Anne Boleyn next year, and some of these Mirabilias are definitely going on the whip, and I think I'm going to make it generic. I'm just gonna label each of my WhipGo spaces just Mirabilia, and whichever one I choose, I don't even think I'm gonna put a name to them. I think I'm just gonna pick one, and whichever one is in a whip pile that says please work on me the loudest is the one that I'm gonna work on. So I think that that's what I'm gonna do, you know, subject to change as always, because I change my mind often. There's no commitment here. I can't commit. Okay, so the last thing that I want to talk about is my Buy Me a Coffee app. And this kind of goes back to the when Kathy Haberman of Hands On Design had released, was it last month, her philanthropic pumpkin, which all the proceeds of that were going to Special Olympics charity, and Lady Dot Creates also was a part of that, of all of the proceeds being donated to Special Olympics. And when I thought I wasn't going to get that, you know, because I had gone online and blah, blah, blah. There was, if you want to hear the story, it's in my last video. But I didn't think that I was going to get that pattern. So in the meantime, I decided that, you know, one of the reasons why I wanted the pattern was because I wanted to make that donation. I wanted that money to go towards, I thought that it was such a great charity to donate to. And so when I thought I wasn't going to get it, I was like, I'm just going to make the donation anyways. And that's great. And as luck would have it, I was actually able to also get the pattern later on during the day. And so win-win, you know, not only was I able to donate to the charity, but then I also got the pattern, and then the proceeds of that pattern were going to the charity as well. So fantastic. But while I wasn't getting that, while I thought I wasn't getting that pattern, I thought, you know what, I really would like to evaluate what I am doing and what I'm spending my money on, because I did come to the realization that while I really wanted the pattern, the reality is I probably am not going to stitch that pattern anytime soon, and it's just gonna stay in stash. And I have a lot of stash. I mean, you guys have seen my hauls. And so I have a lot of threads and fabrics and patterns and notions and bags and everything. And I am also in a lot of the month clubs. And so I thought that I would revamp what I am going to do for next year. And so next year, what I decided was all the money that I spend monthly currently on of the month clubs, I am going to put that money aside every month, and then at the end of a quarter, I am going to donate it to a charity that I have already identified at the beginning of the quarter. And then any money that is received from the Buy Me a Coffee app, if you would like to support that, will also go towards that charity for that quarter. And then I thought, you know, it's the holidays, and Mr. G and I try to make donations to charities, more so throughout the year, because during the holidays, charities do receive a lot of either money or items or donations, whatever it is that they're looking for. But with COVID, fundraising has been a struggle for a lot of charities. And so I thought, you know, what I would do for November and December is, while I am still in the month clubs, until the end of November or December, sorry, the beginning of the year, I will have stopped that. So what I am currently putting towards the of the month clubs, I am going to still put that money aside every month. And then at the end of December, so January 1st, my charity of choice for really October, November, and December, because I decided kind of that in October. So October, November, and December, I am going to put my of the month money towards Cocoon House. And if there are any donations to my Buy Me a Coffee link, that money also will go towards that charity. Now, that charity is one that is in the Pacific Northwest, and Cocoon House is a charity for homeless youth. And one of the things about me is that, you know, I support children in many different areas, and also pets. I must, you know, kids are near and dear to my heart. I mean, I have 4 of them, so I must like them. But I used to volunteer a lot when my children were younger, in their classrooms. And then when my youngest child was going to school, I really got involved in the PTA. And through the PTA, I learned more about struggles that kids can go through. Some of our local PTAs put on, in my particular area, we have a clothing bank, and as well as Cinderella's Closet, which is a really wonderful thing to, we provide dresses, or they provide dresses to high school girls who would not be able to have a dress for homecoming or, you know, prom or any of the big dances that they would go to, because it's just cost prohibitive to their families. And so we have been able to find charities who would donate dresses to that cause, and shoes and accessories and the whole thing. And it's so heartwarming to see a teenage girl who is getting a beautiful dress for quite a few of them the first time in their lives. And that really hit home to me, how in our area there are kids who struggle, and families. I mean, everybody knows families can struggle, but what that really impacted me, because going through life and, you know, having 4 kids in school is already expensive enough, and I just never truly thought about the child that would be sitting next to my child not having enough food to eat, or not having a place to go to at the end of the day. That's shocking to me. And as young as 8 years old, not having a home to go home to at the end of the day, or that the home that they do go home to doesn't have heat, or, you know, food, or things that, you know, a bed, just simple things that we take for granted. So anyways, I thought that Cocoon House really holds a special place for me, because there is a large percentage of homeless kids in our area, and this charity helps those children. And so it, just to put a simple, there's a lot more to it, and if you would like to read up on Cocoon House, I will put that link in my description below. But anyways, so October, November, December, the money that I would have put towards my of the months or that I'm already putting towards of the months, I'm also going to basically match that. Put that money aside, put it towards this charity, and then anything that you have for, if you choose to do the Buy Me a Coffee app, that money will go towards that as well, January 1st. And then each quarter next year, I am going to choose a charity, and I will announce that at the beginning of the quarter. And then I will have put my of the month that I know what I spend now, and I will put that exact amount away each month. And then at the end of the quarter, I will tally that up. We'll probably round that up between Mr. G and myself. He is a big donator. He likes to give back, and so we'll put that towards that. And then anything, if there is any donations to the Buy Me a Coffee app, that also will go towards that charity, and I will kind of say what the amount is at the end of the quarter and which charity and all those things. So that's one of the changes I'm going to make next year, and probably a few more, who knows. But next year looks like it's going to be a busy year, not only with, helping my daughter and her wedding, but also kind of like, really restructuring, rethinking how I want the rest of my life to look. That makes sense. So anyways, thank you so much if you have stuck it out with me and stayed with me throughout. Hopefully you've been stitching or doing some kind of crafting, and just know that I really appreciate this community an immense amount. And if you are struggling and you need help, please reach out to somebody around you. Everybody just do a check-in and make sure that your people maybe you haven't talked to for a while, do a reach out, just do a mental health check, make sure everybody's okay. And then finally, it is Thanksgiving on Thursday, and so I know I mentioned at the beginning of my video that we're going to be at my daughter's house, and Mr. G will be smoking his turkey. And I'll be baking a big old batch of double mashed potatoes that my daughter absolutely loves, and bringing that here, and then they will provide the rest of the dinner, and it'll be just really nice to be around family and friends and celebrating the holiday, celebrating each other, and being thankful for what we have, and yeah. So anyways, I will also have on Saturday another Nora November video up, and so if you love Mira's and or Nora's and you would like to join me for that, I hope you do. And other than that, I wish you all a very happy Thanksgiving, and that you get some stitching time in and some visiting time in and all the things. And yeah, I wish for you a very, very happy holidays. And so I hope to see you soon in my next video. Until then.